don't need to adjust your screen. Yeah, I am this old. The reality is you probably are also if you clicked on this video. Everybody says fragrance has no gender or age. Wear what you want, whenever you want. But the reality is there's a caveat to that. Some fragrances just smell mad juvenile. So in today's video, I'm gonna be putting you on to 10 sexy fragrances, and I mean sexy, according to me, sheer handsomeness.
Sarcasm? You think?
That every man needs in their collection when they're 30 and over. So if you're under 30, this video might not be for you unless you're like super mature and ahead of yourself, and that only applies to women because men don't truly mature till like 65.
It's true.
Let's roll, man. The music so I can put you on to 10 absolutely sexy fragrances that all men 30 and above should have. Listen, morning, my beautiful peoples, you know who it is. It's your boy, 𝗙𝗏𝗏. Not all fragrances are created equal. And let's be honest, when it comes to marketing plans, they're catering to specific demographics, age, location, audiences. They're profiling them more than I'm profiling you right now. So if you're 30 and over, these are the fragrances that I feel that you should have or at least sample in your collection that will boost your sexy man energy when you're feeling like grandpa. Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif. Yeah, I know. First thing everybody complains about is the price, but the scent. Let's focus on the scent right now. And the reality is that this is the most mature Bleu de Chanel to my opinion. For me, I'm a huge fan of the parfum. The parfum is just, if you're gonna go for Bleu de Chanel, I've always told people go for the parfum until this came out. I mean, I'm still a big proponent of the parfum, at least by price point. But this one is just such a stronger, woodier, more masculine and mature energy than the EDT for sure. It's spicier, it's warmer, it's woodier, it's more ambery. It's a really like refined version of the Bleu de Chanel DNA, which is probably why they try to boost the price. Is like, nah, this is more glamorous and more gentlemanly, so let's boost up the price for these people who can afford this shit. I don't agree with that, but I do agree that the scent not only performs incredibly, but smells really good. So if you're 30 and over and can afford this expensive ass fragrance, no cap, it's just really that good. The next one is a super pleasant surprise by Boss, and that's Boss Bottle Absolute. Designer going niche. That's how I would interpret this fragrance. They took a risk. They went incensey, they went myrrhish, they went spicy cinnamon, they went beautiful woods. They went bold with the scent profile. Like with the latest release, Beyond, they played it a lot safer. Maybe they thought this was a bit too risque and they were like, let's backpedal a little bit. Let's go back on that fresher style, which I know everybody's gonna like. But this is the direction that I like fragrance brands to go in, especially if you're over the age of 30. You want something a little bit more bold, refined, maybe with a little bit of a Middle Eastern flair, but not going too crazy far into that space, still keeping that designer-ish wearability. And this fragrance has that. It's ambery, it's sweet, it's woody, but it's also smoky, incensey, and spicy. I love this fragrance, and now for the fall, it's absolutely incredible. So if I had to choose between this and Beyond, this is still like a monster, especially for 30-year-old pluses. And I wish I was 30 again. Next one. Elegance in a Bottle Brioni Eau de Parfum Intense. Pure gentlemanly class. It's sweet herbal, slightly dry. This is freshly polished shoes. This is your hair parted to the side after a fresh haircut. This is came out of the shower and automatically going into that perfectly pressed white button up. This is masculinity and sexiness to the 20th power. Such a good fragrance and still does not get the flowers that it deserves. Brioni absolutely killed it. Not just with this fragrance, but all of the ones that look like this in that same lineup, phenomenal. You can blind by going through those fragrances and still pinpoint a fragrance that's absolutely your taste. So this shit right here, incredible for 30 plus. Although it's extraordinarily expensive, this is my most complimented fragrance this year. I don't think there's gonna be any other fragrance that beats it. Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Zafriano UAE edition. I just can't say enough amazing things about this scent. Saffron and tobacco sex bomb. The right amount of sweetness, the right amount of smoke, the right amount of tobacco, the right amount of spice, perfectly balanced throughout. This is crazy, and now is truly the season for me to wear this fragrance and really see what this fragrance has in store for me. And I'm beyond excited to try this fragrance. Again, most complimented scent this year. Very hard to get. I already ordered the original Velvet Zafriano to be able to do a side-by-side comparison, since this one is really tough to get. And hopefully it gives me the same impact that this fragrance had. So essentially, Velvet Zafriano UAE edition, wow. I might be the ultimate glazer when it comes to this fragrance. Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo, the gourmand king of affordability. There isn't enough words to describe how good this fragrance is. When I want dessert on me, it's when I'm feeling little Italian mobster energy. It's when I want to smell like freshly made whipped cream with espresso drops all over it. It's when I want to encompass soaked lady fingers with Bustelo. 𝗙𝗿 𝗕𝗂𝗏 is not just a designer fragrance that should just be paid attention to. It should be put in the space of like, damn, this is what gourmand designers need to smell like. The depth, the complexity, the beauty, the edibility, that's not even a word, of this fragrance should not be slept on. And the fact that it's affordable, sexy, deliciously rich, and absolutely just silent. Nobody speaks about this shit. If you're over 30 and a gourmand fan and don't have this in your collection, you're truly missing out on something I think is absolute gourmand masterpiece-ish energy. Come at me, bro. Now this one is a recent acquisition, and with instant compliments at the day I purchased this fragrance and still have continued to get. Did I mention it's a feminine fragrance? Fashionably London by Zara. I don't think a young cat is gonna be able to pull this joint off. I think he's gonna feel too insecure about his masculinity pulling off a fragrance with this rosy energy. Even though it lives in the space of like the 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐼𝐲 or 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐼𝐲 with a bit of like a oud satin mood kind of mix, I think that it takes somebody who's ultra confident in their masculinity to pull off a rosy, sweet, floral feminine style fragrance and really see like the impact that this fragrance could have. It's absolutely incredible. I really think that for the price point of $50 that this shit was, it punches way above its price point. Like, I haven't been this thoroughly impressed with a Zara fragrance since Rich, Warm, and Addictive. And I'm talking about the OG Rich, Warm, and Addictive. So I'd comfortably put this joint in that category of budget fragrances that punch way above their price point. And again, I think it has to be somebody who's 30 plus to really wear this rosy, sweet, jammy, elegant, potent scent profile. I'm not a betting man, but anybody who watches my video was probably gonna go to Zara and pick this shit up. And I've had a few people already tell me how good this joint is, so I see this not lasting too long on the shelves. Now, for those who want the 𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼 absolute kind of vibe without that price point, Supremacy Collector's Edition by Afnan. Full grown man energy. 𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼 absolute in a very affordable price point. Over 80% close, really solid performance, no more than $50, probably a lot cheaper than $50, and a compliment magnet for the gentleman in you. Wait, that sounds crazy. For the gentleman in you sounds super That's suspect!
So long, gay boys!
Now, I know I just mentioned Rich, Warm, and Addictive from Zara, but those three words would absolutely describe this fragrance. Rich, Warm, Addictive, and a beautiful interpretation of 𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼 absolute. Corporate, gentlemanly, dressed up, looking to make a great first impression and continuous impressions on anybody who's around if they have this as their signature scent. So a 30-plus-year-old can pull this shit off and pull it off with extraordinary confidence and walk into a room like they own it. That's how Supremacy Collector's Edition has made me feel, and I'm still keeping that same energy. Now, the majority of these fragrances are very much my style. They're bolder, they're richer, they're more fall-centric. Cuba, we need something with a little freshness, papi. And I know I gave you that 𝗷𝐿𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼 exclusive, which has an element of jammy freshness, but it's still overall bold. But Purple Label? Purple Label's gonna give you that freshness that you're looking for. I've put this on multiple lists throughout the years. And this is a fragrance that for me generally speaks more spring, early fall. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is the fragrance that slaps Bleecker Street in the mouth. Addictive. Not addicted. Never mind. Please have a moment of silence while I marinate in these juices. I feel like a boiled chicken in water. I'm trying to be all cool and shit and all suave for the image. Just right up my nose. I feel like this shit just gets stronger every year. My lord. A couple of sprays goes a long way, and this is still a phenomenal, fresh, woody, blackberry, and herbal scent profile. Super playful yet masculine. Mature in its freshness. And still has that soapy element and that cleanliness that you're looking for in an overall fresh fragrance. So fresh with maturity is what you're getting with Purple Label. This, nobody's talking about it. Gentleman Class, White Stretch Limo, 1980s, the movie Wall Street, where Michael Douglas was a dick. Love that movie. Amir Celestial, aka the Budget Ganymede. Fire. Not for many people. Honestly, this has got to be a mature, classy, confident man. This is a little salt and pepper in your grays or on top of your head. You have a full beard, or you do that Italian 5 o'clock shadow that naturally I woke up like this look. I hate you if you have that. As a man, I judge other men. Why not? I'm confident in my masculinity to be like, wow, that's a handsome motherfucker. And sometimes when I see these Italian dudes in these fucking bespoke suits and these 5 o'clock shadows that never had a shape up in their life, I hate myself. And I'm here with a struggling hairline, a yarmulke bald spot, and a body that looks like ambergris before it became perfume. Just blubber. But this, gentlemanly class. I should say this is like 40 and over to wear this fragrance. Feels like this shit brings you back to the old school Chanel fragrance days. Boss shit. And finally, a little bit of a playful energy. Let's add a discontinued fragrance budget option with harmony code 𝗙𝐸. This fragrance world interpretation of a once fucking gem that's discontinued or hard to find is spot on. 80+% close, and it satisfies the itch for those who are looking for it. I have the original of the fragrance and I've done a side by side. The original is a little bit more rounder and bolder, but this is like $40 some odd comparatively speaking, so I can absolutely recommend going this route if you miss that Armani code 𝗙𝐸 DNA, which is pure masculinity in its finest. Let's give it a little love here, shall we? Bold, sexy, suede, elegant, woody, refined, powdery, super sick. Bro, when you take tonka, vanilla, and suede and just mesh them together oh so elegantly, it's a dangerous combination. I'm walking into the room and I'm killing shit. That's what a fragrance is all about. That's what it should make you feel. If you're spending your money, no matter if you're spending $20 or $2,000 on a scent, which is crazy, you want to feel ultra sexy, handsome. You want to elevate that confident level. You want that liquid courage and sprayable form to do its duty. And this fragrance has that along with these other fragrances. We don't have to be subjected to certain hypey scent profiles that don't appeal to us. That aren't catered to classy, elegant, gentlemanly figures like us. Yo, putting myself, I can't even say that with a serious face. Putting myself in that category is crazy work. But honestly speaking, my fragrance selection, stellar. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Which one of these fragrances interests you, or what fragrance do you feel is a banger for 30+-year-olds? Because I know that's who watches me, because everybody else is like, nah, I want to go see the TikTok kids with good hair.
What's up, Maiden?
I'm Oliver.
I'm Brian. And I'm Dylan. And together we are
gay as fuck.
Come on. Love your favorite uncle. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget who I am. Biggest in the game.
Fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tag when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's